All right. Very good morning, all of you all. I hope you are doing really very well. Good morning to each and every one of you. Okay. So Pritesh says Jerry is small so he can run fast. Scientifically, you are right. But there is another thing you can think about here. Okay. So we'll start with the description of this only. And post that, we'll start our today's topic. Shashwat, good interpretation. Its kinetic energy is more. Shreya has got finally close. See, why Tom runs usually behind Jerry? Why usually runs behind Jerry? Because Jerry is his food. Why Jerry runs? Jerry runs to save life. So who has a bigger motto? Who has a bigger motto in life? Whose motivation is more important? Jerry's or Tom? Obviously it is Jerry's. Right? If he doesn't run, he will die. Right? For example, if a tiger is running behind you, obviously you'll try to run faster than tiger. Correct? It's the same case. So who runs fast? Who runs slow? Right? That means speed. I know it's impossible. Scientifically, it's not correct. The speed, right? The speed of a substance or speed of anything depends upon certain factors. Correct? It depends not only one factor, it depends upon many factors. So you can't say that, Advait. Intention is that, na? So yeah, so it depends upon a lot of factors. So what are we going to study in this chapter is the same thing. We are going to study about which reactions moves faster and why it moves faster, right? Which reaction moves faster and why it moves faster, correct? So those are the things we are supposed to learn in this chapter. Now, before I move ahead, I have an announcement to make here. From tomorrow onwards, there will be a slight 15-20 minutes change in your timing. Most likely, your class will start at 9:15. Okay? So most likely, your class will start at 9:15 from tomorrow. You will be updated accordingly. Right. So yes, let's start the class. So we are starting with the new chapter today. Yes, Aditya. Same period of 1 hour 15 minutes. Meghna had scheduled an extra class for that yesterday. Anyways, you can call me regarding it. I'll explain. I had done it yesterday. Okay? Every class will be moved 15 minutes ahead from tomorrow onwards. Today, the schedule is same. Right? Siddharth, you can message me your number, Siddharth. I'll do that. All right. Dhanush, I have a very beautiful answer for that. I will tell you when you message me. I have a very beautiful answer for that. Yes, all classes most likely will be shifted by 15 minutes. I'll post my number, Siddharth, on the chat. Wait. Right. So we are starting a chapter called Chemical Kinetics. It's a easy chapter. We consider it as an easy chapter. Why we consider it as an easy chapter? Because it involves 70 to 80% mathematics. Just differentiation integration. If you know differentiation integration, then your job is very easy. Correct? So let's see the importance of this chapter. If you talk it from board's point of view, in your boards, there will be a 1 mark question. There will be a 2 mark question. And there will be 5 mark question. So that makes a total weightage of this chapter as 8 marks. Now you think it from this point of view, the chapters you have studied so far, approximately, so approximately each chapter is approximately 8 or 7 marks. So if you take an average 8 also, you get around 30 to 32 marks. Correct? From these chapter only, which is close to 50% of the total marks, 70. So if you prepare these chapters also carefully, you are almost close to 50% mark. And the question which I have told you, nothing will come out of it. Right? That's very important. Okay, 2 marks is 1. Sorry, I missed it. 1 2 mark, 1 mark, 1 5 mark. Total 8 marks. Okay? Yes, you can do that, Vishal. Now the next thing is, if you talk about CET, approximately there are 3 questions per year out of 60. Right? And if you talk about NEET usually asks 1 question per year out of 45. JEE Mains, since the number of question has reduced, but still it is considered one of the important chapter of JEE Mains, you'll definitely get 1 question per year. If I talk about 2019, there were approximately 9 questions, right? In the whole one session of the exam, total 8 sessions were there, total 9 questions were there, right? So in one session, there were even 2 questions last year. So this is the exam analysis of this particular chapter, right? Let's move ahead with what we need to learn. So what is chemical kinetics? What is chemical kinetics? What do you need to learn in this? It's a branch of chemistry which deals with study of rate of a reaction, mechanism of a reaction, and factors affecting rate of a reaction. Right? These are the few things you need to study in this chapter. All right. So factors affecting rate of a reaction, and mechanism of the reaction. These are the few things you will study in this chapter. Right? So what is generally physical meaning of kinetics is derived from a word called kinesis. You bio students must have studied this word, cytokinesis and all. Correct? So kinesis. So kinesis in general means movement. So we are talking about, it's actually kinematics type, right? We are talking about movement, right? And when we talk about movement, we are talking about movement of a particular thing. It can be a reaction, it can be a car, it can be anything. So if car is moving, we'll consider it as moving. So movement ka study, right? And in this you can see this example also beautifully depicts it, the formation of fungi or algae, whatever, right? Also is a process. So you can see the rate of this process also, speed of this process also. Then in chemistry, you'll study about A giving you B. A giving you B. Correct? So if a reactant A is converted to B, how fast it is converting? That is first thing you need to learn. Then how it is converting? What is the mechanism of the process? And then what factors it will depend upon, right? These are the three things you will learn in this chapter called chemical kinetics. Kinetics is a general term. When you attach chemical with it, you start talking about chemical reactions, right? Now we are defining the rate of a reaction today. Today we are going to do introduction of this chapter only. We'll define rate of a reaction, how we define rate of reaction, how we find rate of a reaction, right? All those things. All right. Now we are going to see rate of a reaction. What is the average rate? What is instantaneous rate? These two things we'll study today. Then expression of rate of a reaction also we will study today, right? So these are the three things we are going to study. All right. Now, what is rate of a reaction? How do we define rate of a reaction? So for that, what I have done is I have defined a rate in chemistry. You can say, see, rate is something we'll say change of some quantity with respect to time is rate. If you say change of quantity, some quantity with respect to time is called as rate, right? So in chemistry, we generally say rate is nothing but speed also. We can say that, right? It's theoretically incorrect, but we can say it for our understanding. All right. So now what I was saying here was, how do you define rate? In speed, you define, in physics, you define speed as change in position with respect to time. Correct? So what you are measuring in speed, you are measuring the change in position. If it was here at 1 meter, now it is at 6 meter. So what is the change in position? 6 minus 1, right? 5 meter. When you divide it by time consumed, you can find the speed. Similarly, you define rate as change in concentration of reactant. What happens when during a reaction? Reactant gets converted into product. When reactant is converted into product or product is converted into reactant, any direction, reactant is converted into product, their amounts will change, right? When reactant is converting into product, product amount will increase, reactant amount will decrease. So their concentrations will change. So therefore, we are measuring change in concentration. So rate is defined as, rate of a reaction is defined as change in concentration divided by change in time. Change in concentration divided by change in time. Correct? Now, what is unit of rate of a reaction? Rate of a reaction, right? What is the unit? Now, concentration is measured in which unit? Molarity, right? Or let's say you simply write concentration by time. So your units will become concentration time inverse. Now, usually concentration is measured in molarity. Molarity units are what? Moles per liter is your concentration, and time is measured in second. So second inverse. So your overall unit of rate becomes mole, liter inverse, second inverse. So this is your order of rate. Correct? This is your order of rate. Right? Now, if you see the rate is not necessarily represented in concentration. If you take a gaseous reaction, a Haber's process, N2 gas plus CH2 gas gives you 2NH3 gas. If you take a Haber process, so for such reactions where all reactant and products are gases, you can also write rate in terms of partial pressure of the gas. So then you'll write change in partial pressure by change in time, right? And if you write rate as change in partial pressure, partial pressure, let's say, by change in time, then your unit in terms of this will become pressure has a unit of atmosphere or bar divided by time inverse, that is second inverse. So your rate unit can be either mole per liter second inverse, or it can be atmosphere second inverse, or bar second inverse, any of these, right? So I hope the definition is clear. No, Pritesh. Pritesh, yes, we can do that. Pritesh, yes, we can do that. Yes. I hope the definition is clear, guys. If there is any definition, you can message here. Right. So now we are considering a reaction and defining the rate in terms of graph and how the reaction proceeds. So I hope you remember the concentration versus time graph in chemical kinetics, right? I hope you remember, sorry, chemical equilibrium. In case you don't remember also, it's fine. So see what I'm going to do here. There is a reaction we have considered here, reactant to product. What is happening is this blue reaction, blue represent, we are plotting the concentration versus time graph now. We are plotting the concentration versus time graph now. So as reaction proceeds in forward direction, I had told you, reactant ka concentration will decrease, amount of reactant will decrease, amount of product will increase. Correct? That is what is shown here. Reactant decrease with time, product increase with time. Correct? Now I will do it mathematically also. Let us do it mathematically also. If you take, let us say if you have taken a reaction, reactant giving you product only. Let's say at T equal to 0, you started with A moles or A concentration. Product will be how much? 0, because reaction is just started. So when reaction is started, product will not be there. We are considering the forward reaction. Now, if you take after time T, let's say 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever. So after time T, reactant, some reactant A will be converted to product, right? So let us say how much reactant A is converted to product? X. So X mole is converted to product. So if out of A, X is converted to product, how much will be remaining? A minus X. Correct? And if you can see the stoichiometry, 1 mole gives you 1 mole product. Then X mole is converted. So if 1 gives you 1, X will give you how much? X. Yes. So if 1 mole reactant gives you 1 mole product, then X mole reactant will give you X mole product. So how much product will be obtained? X mole or concentration, whatever you want to write. Let's say volume is 1 liter. Yes. Now what do you observe? You observe as the time is increasing from 0 to T, time increases. What happens to the concentration of reactant? Concentration of reactant is decreasing. Initially it was A, now how much is left? A minus X. Then with the time you can see here, what happens to the concentration of product? Product concentration is increasing. Initially it was 0, now it is X. So with the time, the reactant concentration is decreasing and product concentration is increasing. Yes? Is that point clear to everyone? Is that point clear to everyone? All right. Now see the graph. If somebody wants to make good questions, they will always make it from graph. Graph is a very good set of questions which makes beautiful questions. Right. Now see this reactant concentration you can see here. Right. So reactant concentration is decreasing. Green one represents the reactant. Product concentration initially is 0 when time is 0. With the time, the concentration of product increases. Correct? Now, what you can explain here is rate of reaction is what? Right? We'll come to the rate of reaction later. For now, we will define something called rate of disappearance of reactant, rate of appearance of product. At what rate reactant is disappearing and at what rate product is appearing. We are not defining rate of reaction. We are just saying rate of disappearance of R from this definition, change in concentration by change in time. So rate of disappearance of R will be change in concentration of R divided by change in time, right? So change we can represent by delta divided by delta T, correct? So change in time is delta T, change in concentration is delta R. So for that, what we did was, let us say we took time T1. So at T1 time, what is the concentration of reactant? Let us say R1. Then we took time T2. What is the concentration of time T2? R2. So what is the change? What is the change in concentration of R? What is the change in concentration of R from here? Your delta R, change in concentration, is how much? final minus initial. So initially T1 pe how much is the concentration? R1. At T2 time, what is the concentration? R2. So final is R2. So R2 minus R1 is the change. So concentration R2 minus concentration R1 divided by T2 minus T1. So T2 is greater than T1. So T2 is greater than T1. So T2 minus T1 is positive. Correct? R2 and R1 may, you can see R2 is less than R1. So R2 minus R1 will be what? Negative or positive? It will be negative. R2 minus R1 will be what? Negative. R2 minus R1 will be what? Negative. Yes, it will be negative. So you'll get a negative term this and a positive term this. So negative by positive, overall rate will come out to be negative. Overall rate will come out to be negative. Therefore, we are writing a negative sign in front of delta R. The moment you write negative sign, it means it is a magnitude only. It is a magnitude only. Why do we write minus R? Because we know the concentration of reactant is decreasing with time. It is decreasing with time. So always final minus initial will be less than 0, negative. So therefore your rate will come out to be negative, right? So your rate will come out to be negative. So rate of disappearance of reactant is decrease in concentration of reactant divided by time taken, correct? And rate of appearance of product is appearing, will be increase in concentration of product by time taken. Now you can see with the time, the product concentration is increasing. So what is the concentration at time T1? P1. What is the concentration at time P2? P2. Which is greater, P2 or P1? P2 is greater than P1. Final is greater than initial. So delta P, P2 minus P1 will come out to be what? Positive. So delta P, delta change in concentration of P will be concentration of P2 minus concentration of P1, which will come out to be positive, right? Therefore, you write a plus sign ahead, and here you write a minus sign ahead, right? So that is very, very important. That it's very, very important that rate of reactant is always written with a negative sign. Rate of product is always written with a positive sign. So if somebody asks you, find the rate of appearance or disappearance, you can find it like this. Let us do one example on it. Let us take the reaction N2 gas plus 3H2 gas gives you 2NH3 gas. Let's say I want to write rate of disappearance of reactant. So rate of disappearance of N2 will be, since it is a reactant, I'll write minus sign, delta change in concentration of N2 by change in time, right? This is your rate of disappearance of N2. Similarly, rate of disappearance of H2 will be what? Minus delta change in concentration of H2 by change in time. Whereas rate of appearance of ammonia now will be plus delta ammonia by delta time, right? This is how you define rate of appearance or disappearance of reactant or product, right? Is the magnitude graph? I did not understand your point, Kishan. Please come again. Can we take H2 instead of N2? Yeah, we can take any of this. If you want to find for N2, you can find for N2. If you want to find for H2, if you find H2. Rathe, they will ask you, find the rate of disappearance of H2. So if they ask disappearance of H2, you use this. If they ask disappearance of N2, you use this. It's quite simple, right? We'll come to that, Sagar. Sagar, that is in a reaction, rate of a reaction. We have not discussed rate of a reaction yet. So guys, whatever you have written here is not rate of reaction. It is rate of formation of product, rate of consumption of reactant, but it is not rate of reaction. They can ask both also, Rate. So it is not rate of a reaction. Remember this, right? It is not rate of a reaction. Remember it. Vinayak, I said that only. It is not rate of a reaction. We are not considering the stoichiometry here. If you are finding the rate of formation of ammonia, then when you take delta ammonia by delta T, by itself it is concluded that you have taken total concentration. Total concentration means you have taken 2 mole only. Getting a point? So this is, if you ask what is this rate of formation of ammonia, it is for 2 moles. It is already included in it. It is already included in it. Stoichiometry is already included in it. Right? This is the point here. Vinayak. All right. Now, we can take partial pressure also. We can take partial pressure also. What is the value of delta N2? That will be given, no. Vedant, in a question it will be given. When time was 2 minutes, the concentration of nitrogen was 2 mole per liter. After 5 minutes, the concentration of nitrogen became 1 mole per liter. Then what is change in nitrogen concentration? Finally, it was 1. Initially, it was 2. So 1 minus 2. Time was finally 5. Initially, it was 2. So 5 minus 2. So minus 1 by 3 will become your rate of consumption. Right? We need to convert minute into second. Depends upon the options. Rate can be written. There is no compulsion. It can be written in terms of minute also. It can be written in terms of second also. That depends upon options and question. Okay? We can use, guys, when I said all reactant product are gases, that does not mean you cannot write concentration. I said you can also write pressure. You can also write concentration. Both are possible, Vijayalakshmi. Both are possible. You can write both of them. Right? In boards, you should keep second. Chalo, let's move ahead. Now, we are coming to rate of a reaction. We are coming to rate of a reaction now. Till now, we have not defined rate of a reaction. See, till now we are defining, we have till now defined only rate of disappearance and appearance of product. So here what we are saying is, I have already explained you, as concentration of reactant is decreasing, so multiplied by -1 to make it reaction a positive quantity, right? Matlab, this will come out to be negative. This will be negative. Rate overall should be positive. But you don't get confused by that. You just remember negative sign is written because concentration is decreasing. Okay? Concentration is decreasing. Positive sign means product concentration is increasing. That is the simple meaning of it. Right? Now, there are 3 types of rate of a reaction. Right? What do we study here? What do we study here? I'll tell you. Fast reactions are there, moderate reactions are there, slow reactions are there. Most of the reaction which we study here are these 2. Whatever reaction you are studying in your syllabus are either slow reaction or moderate reaction. Yes, Shashwat. When you write delta ammonia by delta T, it is for 2 mole. Okay? The concentration will be given in question. Now, fast reaction we cannot study by normal methods. In your syllabus also, there are hardly any fast reaction. They are usually studied by flash photolysis. There is a technique called flash photolysis. Using this technique, we study fast reactions. Right? And in India, I think there are only few institutes where this technique is available. Very few institutes, very few people work on the fast reactions. Right? One of them is in BARC, Mumbai, Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Okay? So they do kinetic studies of fast reactions. Now, moderate. and slow reactions. We can quickly define them. What is a fast reaction? We are defining rate as change in concentration by change in time. For rate to be very high, delta T should be very small. Correct? Because they are inversely proportional. For rate to be high, delta T should be very small. Then rate will be very high. Correct? So that's what. Fast reactions are the reactions. Example, all neutralization reactions, acid-base reaction. Delta T is very small. Then your rate will be very high. All acid-base reactions are fast reactions. Correct? Example is given Advait here. All acid-base reaction, precipitation reactions are also fast reactions. Right? Then moderate reactions are where time period is not too small, not too large. Examples are inversion of cane sugar. Bio students might be knowing it. When you do the inversion of cane sugar, you get glucose, and cane sugar means you can say sucrose. When you take sucrose on hydrolysis, it gives glucose and fructose. Correct? So that is this reaction. Hydrolysis of starch. Starch is a polymer of, by the way. Okay, previous slide. Yes, Rahul. You can take the previous slide. Yes, what are the starch is a polymer of what? Bio students should be knowing. Starch is a polymer of. Starch is a polymer of. अगर ये ना बताओ तो बायो वालों को wow. The first answer comes from a non-bio student. Very good, Ashutosh. गजब है. Non-bio students are giving the bio answers first. Dhanush says it is a polymer of rice. Dhanush, I think you like to eat rice a lot. Starch is a polymer of glucose basically, right? It has two components, amylose and amylopectin. Amylose component has 1,4 glycosidic linkage. Amylopectin mein branching occurs at 1,6 glycosidic linkage. So I hope bio students now will remember it, right? Don't say rice or don't say something. Random answers I have seen here. Sugar, ketones. Gajab hai. All right. So starch is a polymer of glucose. So hydrolysis of starch will give you glucose. This is also an example of moderate reaction. Hydrogen peroxide ka dissociation is also an example of your moderate reaction. Correct? Slow reaction, rusting of iron. All of us know iron rusting is a very slow process. Conversion of graphite into diamond is also a very slow process. Right? I hope it is clear. Right. Now we are defining the two types of rate, average and instantaneous rate of a reaction. Average and instantaneous rate of a reaction. So what is average rate of a reaction? All of you please pay attention. Average rate of a reaction. So average rate of reaction is defined as, if this is your reaction, total change in concentration upon total time, right? So if this is your T1, right? This is your R1 concentration. This is your T2 time, R2 concentration. So total change in concentration upon total change in time will give you the average rate. Whatever we have studied, that only, right? Now, is this clear, everyone? Average rate mein it's almost same. Whatever we have studied so far, it's almost similar, right? So now let me move towards instantaneous rate. That is very important. What do we mean by instantaneous rate? So see, all of you are mathematics students, and at least not mathematics, bio mein you have studied limits, right? So what do we study? See carefully. If I take average rate, the difference, if I take average rate, this delta T must be large. It should be a large gap. The time duration should be large. But if my delta T is very small, that means if this is your T1, this is your T2, so difference between T2 and T1 is very small. This is your delta T, right? So if your delta T is very, very small, when your delta T is almost very, very, very small, then you will not write it by delta T, you will write it by dt. If your time period is very small, then change in concentration will also be very small. Change in concentration for a long duration of time, you went from 1 to, let's say 1 minute mein you went from 1 mole to 2 mole, right? In 1 minute. But if I take it in 1 second, it's a very small time. So then change in concentration will be 1 mole to 1.0001 mole. Getting a point? So if you divide that 1 minute into 60 seconds, then for 1 second, the change in concentration is very small. So if you take very small time gap, the change in concentration will also be very, very small. Then you say minus dr by dt is your instantaneous rate, right? It is instantaneous rate of disappearance of reactant, right? Rathe, there must be some problem, beta, right? So just check, just Rathe, disconnect and connect again, right? Okay, average rate, slide Athar. This is your, it's same Athar, there is nothing new in average rate. I'll tell the difference basically. I'll tell the difference between these two in short. Chalo. Now, when will the P be negative? P will not be negative. It will be, product rate will always be positive. Now, the difference is here you use delta T, here you use small time t, here you use delta R, here you use small r. Or in short, in terms of limit, instantaneous rate is average rate only where delta T approaches 0. When delta T approaches 0, then instantaneous rate becomes average rate. Correct? So this is what we have written here. Instantaneous rate is average rate limit delta T tends to 0. In average rate, if you apply the limit that delta T is tending to 0, then you say it is an instantaneous rate. Now the most important part. The moment you write minus dr by dt, it represents slope. It represents slope of the graph. So remember, slope of concentration versus time graph. Slope of concentration versus time graph. Slope of concentration versus time graph does not give you average rate. It gives you instantaneous rate. Please keep this in mind. The moment you are finding the slope of concentration versus time graph, it gives you instantaneous rate, not average rate. Why? Because when you draw a slope, when you draw a tangent, tangent cuts your curve at a point, right? So it will not touch it at 2 points. So tangent is drawn to a surface at a point. So when it is touching this curve at a point, then it is touching at a one time only, very small time. So that means your time is very small here. This is your T1, this is your T2. So tangent is touching only this point. Getting a point? So if you want the instantaneous rate at this point, you draw the tangent here, then you draw the tangent here, and then you find the slope at this point. Theta, you find the slope at this point, you'll get instantaneous rate at this point. Similarly, you draw the tangent here. Let's say you draw the tangent like this here. Yes. Let's say you draw the tangent this time here. The curve was like this, let's say. Right? Now, when you draw the tangent here, then this is the point it is meeting. So at this point, if you want instantaneous rate, take the tan theta at this point. Take the tan theta at this point. Tan theta equal to slope equal to instantaneous rate. Remember this. So instantaneous rate is defined by slope of concentration versus time graph. It is very, very important difference between your average rate and instantaneous rate. When I was teaching you the rate, many students were shouting slope, 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 slope. But be careful, slope of the graph will give you instantaneous rate, not average rate. Right? I hope this point is clear to everyone. Right? It is a forward reaction only. It's a forward reaction only. It is a reaction where reactant gives product. Monisha. Right. Is this point clear? The difference between average rate and instantaneous rate. In average rate, you'll use delta. Time period will be large. In instantaneous rate, you'll use D. That means small time period. Right. This is very, very important part. Okay. Product. Yes. If you're taking a backward reaction, then P becomes your reactant, R becomes your product. Then for backward reaction, you will write minus BP by dt because P is your reactant in backward reaction. I hope it is understandable. Now, let's do a question on this. Till now, we have whatever we have learned, try to replicate it or try to convert it into a form of question. So for a, see, I hope you know basic mathematics. If you know basic mathematics, it can be done. Right. So the question is, find the concentration of product. Sorry, for a concentration of product with time is given. You have to find instantaneous rate of reaction at 12 seconds. Instantaneous rate of a reaction at 12 seconds. You have to find instantaneous rate of a reaction at 12 seconds. All right, I think most of you are getting the right answer. All right. So you have another 10 seconds, guys. So kindly wrap up your answer in 10 seconds. Lot of people are getting the answer now. That's good thing. That means it's a easy question. Good. Chalo. Let's end this, guys, on a count of 3, 2, 1. Let's end this now. Right. You have to find rate, instantaneous rate. Since it is product, so rate, instantaneous rate will be given by d P by dt. What is the product concentration given as? It is given as this. So d by dt, I am using a positive sign because it is product. So concentration is 2.5 t square minus 4. Now you have to differentiate it. So this differentiation will be d by dt of 2.5 t square minus d by dt of 4. Constant differentiation is what? 0. So constant differentiation will be 0. You can take 2.5 outside. Now it is d by dt of 2 t square. So if it is d by dt of t square, you can apply the formula d by dx, x to the power n. What is the differentiation of x to the power n? N x n minus 1. So same thing. This is your x. So 2.5, 2 will come outside and you'll get into 2 into t to the power 2 minus 1. So your answer comes out to be 5t. 2.5 into 2 is 5. You get 5t is your rate. So if time is 12 seconds, then your rate is 5t. That means 5 into 12. 5 into 12. So this gives you a value of 60. This gives you a value of 60 mole. Unit is same again. Molar. Let me write mole as molar. Let me write mole as molar. So this is 60 molar or 60 mole per liter per second. This is your answer, right? Now, important thing. This is fine. Can you find the average rate? I have another question here. Can you find the average rate here, average rate, find average rate here between time equal to 10 second and time equal to 12 second. Try to find the average rate between the duration of time of 10 second to 20 second, 12 second. So when the time is changing from 10 second to 20 second, how will you find average rate of a reaction? Can we take a slope? This will clear your doubt. Can we take a slope? Can we take a slope? Answer is no, we cannot take a slope. Now you need to use the equation. Find the average rate when the time period changes between 10 seconds to 20 seconds. I think many of you have already got the answer. That's good thing. Prashant, check again. Okay. Yeah, I think we are done here. Let us see what will happen. Many of you have got the answer actually. Yes, that's good. That's pretty good. Average rate, now many of you have got it correct. See, if your time duration is changing between 10 second to 12 second, your average rate of a reaction, okay, here they have taken it 20 second, but let us do it for 12 second. So we can find it for 12 second. It will come out to be 55 approximately. So what you'll do is you'll find the concentration at 10 second. It will come out to be 2.5 into t square. That means 10 square minus 4. That will be 250 minus 4, 246. Let's say molar. Then find time at 12 second. So you can say 2.5 into 12 square minus 4. So 144 into 2.5. I think that will give you a value of 360. Let us verify once. 360 I think you should get. 2.5 into 144. Yes, 360 you'll get. So 360 minus 4 is 356. Now average rate average will be concentration at 12 second minus concentration at 10 second divided by T2 minus T1. That means 12 second minus 10 second. So it is 356 minus 246 by 12 minus 10. So this comes out to be 110 by 2. That means 55. So 55 mole per second, molar per second. You can say that also. So I hope it is clear how to find the average rate, how to find the instantaneous rate, what is the difference between the two things. They are not the same thing, right? I hope it is clear. Now let's move ahead. Expression of rate of reaction. Let me tell you, whatever you have done till now was not rate of a reaction. Was not rate of a reaction. It was rate of formation of product, rate of consumption of reactant. Now we are finding the rate of a reaction. Now we are finding the rate of a reaction. Right? Okay. Last slide, Shashwat. Let me put a barrier between these two. All right. I hope it is done, Shashwat. Chalo. Now we are finding the expression of rate of reaction. Now it's very important for all of you to put your 100% attention. Sorry. Now what we say here, now we'll use stoichiometric coefficients. I'll tell you why we'll use stoichiometric coefficient. Stoichiometric coefficients of reactant and products are not equal. Stoichiometric coefficient of reactant and product are not equal. 1, 3, 2. Here 1 mole is consumed, 3 mole is consumed, 2 mole is consumed, right? So I said when you write rate of consumption of nitrogen, you write minus dN2 by dt, correct? So it was 1 mole per liter. Rate of consumption of hydrogen, let us say it is coming out to be 3 mole per minute. For ammonia, this is for how many moles? 2 moles, correct? I told you there also, when you write minus d ammonia plus d ammonia by dt, it is for how many moles? 2 moles. Minus dH2 by dt is for how many moles? 3 moles. Minus dN2 by dt is for 1 mole. But when you write rate of a reaction cannot be different with respect to different things. They are reactant and product are part of the same reaction. So you should write rate of reaction in terms of reactant or product, it should be same. Whether you write rate of a reaction in terms of reactant or product, it should be same. But you have taken different moles of reactant and product. Then what should we do? We should take same moles of reactant and product if you want to find rate of reaction. When you want to find rate of consumption of reactant or formation of product, it does not matter how many moles you take. But when you write rate of a reaction is always defined for 1 mole substance. It is defined for 1 mole substance. Rate of a reaction is defined for 1 mole substance. Therefore, if it is for 2 mole, for 1 mole, how much it will be? Divide by 2. Correct? So for 1 mole, what is the rate? 1 by 2 d ammonia by dt. It is for 3 mole. 1 mole how much? Divide by 3 both sides. So for 1 mole, how much is the rate? Minus dH2 by dt by 3. Here though it does not matter, already it is 1. So basically what we are saying, when you write rate of a reaction, you have to define the rate, or you have to divide your rate of formation or consumption by their stoichiometries. You have to divide the rate of formation or consumption of reactant and product by their stoichiometries. Now rate of a reaction will be d ammonia by dt by 2. Rate of reaction will be dH2 by dt by 3. And it does not matter whether you write rate of reaction in terms of ammonia, H2 or N2. It should come out to be same. Therefore, you have equated them. You can equate them. Therefore, you have equated them, right? So what we are saying here is, when you define rate of consumption or formation of product, you define it for their stoichiometry. But rate of a reaction is defined for 1 mole substance. If for 2 mole rate is this, 1 mole rate will be 1 by 2. Therefore, rate of reaction will be 1 by 2 d ammonia by dt. For 3 mole, it is this much. For 1 mole, it will be 1 by 3, right? So in short, when you're writing rate of consumption of reactant, you'll write minus dH2 by dt. But when you're writing rate of reaction, you'll divide it by its stoichiometry, right? So remember, you will always divide the rate of consumption of reactant or formation of product by its stoichiometry. Then only you'll get rate of reaction, right? Is this point clear to everyone? When to divide by stoichiometry, when not to divide by stoichiometry. It is very important. It is very important when you will divide by stoichiometry, when you will not divide by stoichiometry. Is that point clear to everyone? Why the time should be in minute? It may not be in minute. It can be in second also, Ganesh. Ganesh, it can be in second also. It's not necessary. Sorry, not Ganesh. Gangadhar. It can be in second also. All right. So let's take it further and conclude what we have learned. If there is a general reaction, rate of a reaction with reaction. See, we are writing rate of reaction. We are not writing rate of disappearance of A. We are not writing rate of disappearance of A. We are writing rate of reaction here, right? It should be it will be mentioned pratham. So rate of reaction with respect to A will be rate of disappearance of A is minus dA by dt divided by stoichiometric coefficient. So minus dA by dt is rate of disappearance of A. When you divide it by stoichiometry, then it becomes rate of reaction. Similarly, minus dB by dt is the rate of disappearance of B. When you divide it by stoichiometry, then it becomes rate of reaction with respect to B. Similarly, rate of dC by dt, positive, represents rate of appearance of C. When you divide it by stoichiometry, then it becomes rate of reaction with respect to C. Similarly, D. All of them will be equal. You can equate all of them. You can equate all of them, right? It will be always mentioned in exam. Don't worry about it, right? Examples are here. You can see carefully. Examples are here. Vedant, log out and join again, Vedant. It happens due to internet instability. Now, if this is your reaction, right? Your rate of a reaction will be, stoichiometry is 1. So minus dHg by dt divided by 1. Here also stoichiometry is 1. Here also stoichiometry is 1. So it does not matter, right? But in this reaction, your rate of disappearance is of Hi is minus dHi by dt. This is rate of disappearance of Hi, but rate of reaction will be divided by stoichiometry minus 1 by 2 dHi by dt. So when you write only minus dHi by dt, it is rate of disappearance of Hi. When you write divided by 2, then becomes rate of reaction, right? So I hope it is clear, right? No, Vedant, I am writing in front of you. How can I mute myself? Vedant, I'm not muted. Acha, Vedant, can't hear me only. Right. When stoichiometry will be 1, then they are same. Yes, Sagar. Can you please show the previous slide? Which slide you are asking? Yes, we will get negative. This thing. Arey yaar, I am unmuted only. See, I am unmuted only. What are you talking about? Danush. Expression of rate of a reaction. Yes. This is the slide, Ritika. All of you, please take it down. We'll solve a question on this. We will solve a question on this. Danush, it's your internet. You should catch hold of your internet guy, whoever is your supplier. Now, this is your examples. All of you, I hope it is clear. If there is any doubt, you can ask. We are moving towards the questions now. If product is solid, then will there be any rate of disappearance? Yes, there will be. There will be, but it will be very less, negligible. You can say, Adesh, there will be, but it will be very less. Yes, this is our first question. This is our first question, guys. This is the reaction given to you. 2A giving you product. You can write 2A giving you P. The concentration of A decreases from initial concentration of A is given. Final concentration of A is given. How much time has been taken? 10 seconds. Matlab T2 minus T1 is directly given as 10. Calculate rate of a reaction during this interval. Now, you cannot get anything easier than this. Calculate rate of a reaction for this reaction. Simple. Change in concentration by change in time. Calculate rate of a reaction for this reaction. Calculate rate of a reaction for this. It's an easy one. You cannot get anything easier than this. All right. I think many of you have started getting the answers. That's a good thing. Yes, Abhishek. Sagar, check again, beta. There is some calculation error it seems you have done. Chalo, let's end this on a count. Now we are ending it on a count of 3, 2, 1. Now we are ending it now. Right, this is pretty easy, guys. First, you write the expression of rate. Rate of a reaction is in terms of A minus change in concentration of A by change in time. Or you can write delta also, up to you. You can write delta also. Change in concentration of A by change in time. But this is rate of disappearance of A. What will be rate of reaction? You have to divide it by its stoichiometry. So now you have to divide it by stoichiometry. Then it becomes rate of reaction. Now it is minus 1 by 2. Now what is delta A? A final minus A initial. That means 0.4 minus 0.5. It will be minus 0.1 by delta T. What is the time duration? 10 seconds. So it comes out to be plus 0.1 by 20. So which will be 1 by 200, which can be written as 0.5 by 100 or 5 into 10 power minus 3. 5 into 10 power minus 3. I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear. There is no doubt in this question. Right? So yeah, this is your next one. All of you, please be careful about units. All of you, please be careful about the units. Be very much careful about the units given in the question and units given in the options. Be very much careful about it. So rate of appearance of ammonia is given. Actually, if you solve one part, your job is done. See, if you solve first part, your job is done. You find only for rate of disappearance of nitrogen, you find your question is solved. So rate of appearance of ammonia is given. That means dNH3 by dt is given. Calculate rate of disappearance of nitrogen. R inverse. चेतन, it is R inverse. जैसे second inverse होता है ना, वैसे ही R मतलब घंटा. 60 minutes. Pratham, you think or you have solved? Gauri, you're right. Then good thing, Pratham. All right. So this is also an easy question actually, not a tough one. But you have to be careful about units. That's for sure. People have started writing the right answer. That's a good thing. Yes, so we'll end this on a count of 3, 2, 1. Now, yes. So guys, you need to be careful about unit. I told you, right? It is in kilogram per hour, but it's asked in mole per hour. Kilo, you don't have to worry about. Option is also in kilo. R is R. So only you have to worry about is how to convert your gram to mole. Correct? How to convert your gram to mole. For that, you know, number of moles formula is given weight by molar mass. So if weight is given, right, you can divide it by its molar mass, it will become mole. Correct? So rate of ammonia is given to be, rate of ammonia formation is dNH3 by dt. This is given to be 34. Yes. Yes. So it is 34 kilogram R inverse. This is given. But this is in weight. You have to divide it by its molar mass. Right? So what will be its molar mass? What will you take its molar mass? 17. Should I divide it by, I have to convert this 34 gram into mole. Correct? I have to convert this 34 gram into mole. So what should I write? I should divide it by 17. Right? I should divide it by 17. If I divide it by 17, what do I get? I get 2 kilomole R inverse. This is my rate of formation of ammonia. Right? Now let us write rate of reaction. Rate of reaction is minus dN2 by dt. Stoichiometry is 1, so it will not matter. Equal to minus 1 by 3 dH2 by dt. You have to divide by stoichiometry. Equal to plus 1 by 2 d ammonia by dt. Now equate these two. You have to find for N2, equate these two. So dN2 by dt, which is rate of disappearance of ammonia, is equal to minus 1 by 2 d ammonia by dt. So d ammonia by dt is 2. So it comes out to be 1 by 2 into 2, that is 1 kilomole per hour. Similarly, you can solve for hydrogen also. It will come out to 3 by 2 into d ammonia by dt, which is 2. So your answer will come out to be C. C is your correct answer. Molar mass ammonia ka. Vishal, what is the molar mass of ammonia? Number of moles is weight by molar mass. So weight is 34 gram. What is molar mass for ammonia? Nitrogen 14. 3 into 1, 17. Nitrogen, molar mass of ammonia will be 17. Right? I hope this question is also clear. It was an indirect question. Now, let us take today's quiz. Today's quiz is difficult to understand. I don't know how many of you know this, but it is interesting. Class is over. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll continue with factors affecting rate tomorrow. Yes, so if you know the answer, this is regarding a cricket only. There is a cricketer X who has played 100 matches, scored these many runs, 25 hundreds, 26 hundreds for this cricketer. Their sum is given. The total matches they have played is 200, 1591 runs for both the cricketers. 51 hundreds. PK no kya? Then Master Blaster has also played 200 matches, these many runs, 51 centuries. What are these two X and Y cricketers? Mohit no. Khushi no. Adesh no. I think PK has got the right answer. Chirag, one option is right. No. Now let me tell you, X and Y are not Indian cricketers. Chalo. Now let me make it easy for you. Don't Google it. X and Y are not Indian cricketers. Okay. To make it even easier, X and Y are from the teams which play Ashes. To make it easy, Vedant has got it now. They play Ashes. Both of them are retired, obviously. Oh, Gail कहाँ से आ गया? I know Siddharth. That's why. So let's end this. So X is Alistair Cook. Y is Michael Clark. Y is Michael Clark. Another hint I would have given is both of them have captained their team in Ashes. Both of them have captained their team in Ashes. So you can see this interesting fact. It's a very interesting fact. Their sum of centuries, it's a coincidence, is equal to the centuries of Sachin Tendulkar. Correct? Never heard their names. They are big players, man. Alistair Cook and Michael Clark. They're big players. No, Danush. We can't be that level now. Chalo, that's all for today. All of you, from tomorrow onwards, please check your timetable before coming to the class. It will be at 9. It might be at 9:15 or 9:30. Please check the timetable. We will update you accordingly. Yeah. My number, I wanted to send. Yeah. I'll send it on the chat. Give me a minute. Previous slide, I'll go to that. Oh my God. There were so many. Yes. I'll check Samruddhi. Most likely it is not recorded. Samruddhi. Pratham, there are two notes. If you go to subject chemistry, you'll get the class notes. And outside the subject chemistry, there is a boards module. There are 4 folders: board module, physics, chemistry, maths, bio. So boards module may see the boards module. If you go to chemistry and find TLP or class notes, you'll see the my class slides. Why there is a change in timing? There's some students have class in these slots. Some students have class in these slots. Meghna, call me at 12:10. Meghna 12:10. Meghna 12:10. Okay, I'll go to that slide. Advait. Meghna 12:10. Oh shit. Yes, Advait. This is the one. Pratham, I told beta, correct updated PDF. Which PDF you are asking for? Are you asking for the class notes? The class notes are uploaded. Nahi, Pratham, which notes? Boards module or the class notes? Which one are you asking? आज का तो I have yet to upload. I will upload after the class. आज का I will make separate folder chemical kinetics. I'll upload in that. There was an extra class yesterday. Yes. There was a JEE NEET ka extra class yesterday. What is TLP? Forget what is there in a name. Ignore TLP. Arey, everybody is asking this. My opinion is, see, if you are boycotting something, I am betting my everything on this, that after few months you'll again come back to the same trade which you were doing earlier, right? So just boycotting for some days will not help. My sense is you do not boycott it until you develop your own very good reliable source. Okay? Until you don't do that, there is no point, because the government itself is using lot of China products. I can give you many, right? So it's just It's not going to help. Globalization is not going to stop. It's a corona impact that 2 to 3 months you'll see it, but probably 6 months or after 5 months, globalization will again start. So economy cannot stay at one place. It has to flow. That's what I would say. I had actually informed Athar. Saturday I had informed Athar. Yes, Aditi, it's not. Aditi, it was a problem solving class. You can go through the notes. If you get any doubts, you can inform me. Previous question. Previous question is easy, man. You have to find rate of reaction. So rate of reaction is -1/2 dA by dt. So, or delta A by delta T. So change in concentration is C2 minus C1. So 0.4 minus 0.5. C2 minus C1 by T2 minus T1. Time is given 10 seconds. Divided by 2. When you solve this, you'll get your answer. Yes, I did inform. In the last, I had informed. In fact, I had sent the message also. I hope it is clear, Kishore. All right. So let's end this now.